ये चश्मे
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to
वालेकुम
the
अस्सलाम।
channel. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's well. आज हम प्रीमियर लीग गेम वीक 24 के बारे में डिस्कशन करेंगे. We're going to review the game week. But before we delve into that, Abul bhai, how are you doing? How's life?
I'm alright, man. Just just a regular. You tell me, how you doing?
Good, good. Alhamdulillah. Good. Everything's good. And we're going to go straight into it. Straight into it. Where should we start? I mean, there's some big results this week.
United.
Uh,
No hesitation, bro. Like, I mean, honestly, I hate when teams suffer. Uh, not, I'm not for United suffering the way they are suffering,
I'm
but
all
like,
for it, bro.
it's just a question of like, what's going wrong for them? I don't know, because they perform against the bigger teams, and then
Mm-hmm.
when it's the smaller teams, well, not small exactly, but teams like Crystal Palace, Ipswich, they tend to
Mm-hmm.
drop points, and I just don't get it. Like, what's the disbalance when it comes to a bigger game and a smaller game? I really don't get it. What do you think?
Maybe because like I think because they're better suited. I mean, they were on right now, not as much as they were like maybe season 2 seasons ago. Like they were better on at a counter attack. They were a counter attacking team. They always like in the recent past they did that. So I mean, against a big team, you don't have much of a ball. You sit
Yeah.
back and then you break. And that was their strength. People, and when you're playing against a small team, you have the ball. You have to break them down, and that's a different ball game. That's a completely different ball game. But I mean,
Yeah.
in this game, like United started well. Like for this first 10-15 minutes, they actually played well for at least where they are right now. But the start was actually good. I actually thought in the start they were gonna go win. But after that, like after the 15 minutes, it was mostly Crystal Palace. It was basically two mid-table teams against each other. The quality of the game was just two mid-table teams against each other. And I mean, where United are right now, they are mid-table. So it was just that. United had chances. Bruno chance. I think Kobe Mainu hit the post, but
Yeah.
but they didn't score. They didn't take the chances. Crystal Palace did. They were more clinical in that sense. And Mateta with two goals, and they won the game. I mean, that's what happens in top level football, right? Like you have to take your chances.
Yeah, you have to finish off the game. Just
Mm.
United don't seem to have it in them to break teams down. They're like you said, more along the lines of the point you made is they're not well suited for teams that are low block. They
Mm-hmm.
prefer being the low block and
Mm-hmm.
attacking on the counter, which is essentially the mentality of a mid-table team. Again, just furthering your point. So yeah, like a surprising result. But if you look at the context of the game and the way both teams have played throughout the season, it should not be an unprecedented surprise. A surprise nonetheless, but not something we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's not that big of a surprise because I mean, some stats, their first 10 Premier League matches, not first, but 10 Premier League matches in a row, like Crystal Palace lost nine. And then their last six Premier League matches, Crystal Palace against United, they've won four. So, and they beat United 4-0 last year at Old Trafford.
yeah,
So, I mean, not that big of a surprise. Crystal Palace has been their bogey team lately, in like at least in the recent seasons.
yeah, mhm,
I mean, so it wasn't a big surprise for me, but more of a surprise was me that Menu was playing number nine, bro. I mean, Kobe Menu, good player, very good mid player, like his potential, very good potential, but he's not a striker. Everyone knows he's not a striker, but he was playing number nine. I don't know what's happening. They have Hoyland, they have Zersky, but apparently I mean not apparently, but it's very clear that the manager doesn't rate Zersky at all. Because I mean Menu
yeah.
starting in front of you at number nine. That's
To be honest, if you're in Manchester United's position, the way that they've played the season so far, and how unpredictable they've been with their results, I wouldn't in be entirely against like experimenting. Fine, it didn't work
That's
out for
true.
this game, right? But like it's if the manager sees something, I'd say go for an experiment because wow, United are in an experimental phase where they can afford to experiment this season because it's done and dusted already, right?
Yeah, their
Obviously,
decision. Yeah.
not at the cost of relegation, but we all know that's never gonna happen, right?
Very, very, very unlikely. I mean, they have to
Yeah,
probably lose because the not it's because United is not that bad. It's because there are teams that are worse than United, like Southampton, like
yeah, yeah,
Ipswich. Like there are teams that are completely shit. So United is not gonna fall below that. But yeah,
yeah,
I
100%.
mean, yeah, I mean the record is not looking that good because if you look at it, like their 13 home games this season, they've lost seven, and the last time it happened, they weren't even called Manchester United. It was in 1873 or 93, something like that. But they weren't even
Holy
called
shit!
United back then. They were called Newton Heath. So like it's it's a season to forget for United fans. But
Like
I mean,
every other season. No offense to United fans, but like they think they've had their worst season, and the next season comes along.
I don't think it can get worse than this. I mean, Amarin's a
uh,
good coach. I don't think United's gonna be this bad next year. I don't think it can get
I'm
worse
not.
than this.
I'm not suggesting that they'll be this bad next season, but I'm just saying that, like, the United that we've known, especially growing up, when they won the title and with Van Persie, they've always historically been a very good dominating team. There's a reason why they have so many Premier Leagues,
Mm,
but like growing up, you see a decline of a team, right? It's kind of
yeah,
sad, right? But they've
not
just
true.
upped themselves each and every season when it comes to the decline. And that's quite sad, actually. As a football fan, you don't have any. If I was a United fan, I wouldn't have any passion to watch any football.
Mm-hmm,
And I can relate as a Chelsea fan for the past couple of seasons. They've been rough
mm-hmm.
seasons, man, but not as
Yeah.
bad as this, man. Not as bad as
Mm-hmm.
this.
I felt the same when Arsenal like the two seasons we finished eighth. I felt the same way. I felt very disconnected. I wasn't in the mood to watch games.
Yeah.
Like the way I am right now. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, let's see. But that was the Manchester United game. And talking about Manchester, the
Mm-hmm.
other Manchester team got humbled, and that
Yeah.
was fun. That was a fun watch. I mean,
Yeah.
finally, like I don't know. Yes, we did it to Chelsea last season, but like a team we did it to the champions, 5-1. That's a big scoreline. So happy, bro.
Yeah, you must be. You have every right to be. But this just, I think this score line, not saying that like Chelsea's as good as Arsenal at the minute, but like with this City team, we lost. We lost against this City team, bro, last week. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, cities are bogey team every season. They can have the worst season possible,
Mm-hmm.
but when they come up against Chelsea, then somehow they become prime Barcelona, man. And then the matches that follow, they go back to their baseline form for that season. And well, in the seasons before, they've been a really good team. So I'm not saying that like
Mm-hmm.
they're
I
a
mean, four in a
they're a
row.
shit team. Yeah, four in a row is not common. But it's just that this season has been frustrating because we got Man City right at the start of the season when they were in form
First
and
game of the season. I mean, yeah,
first game of the
that's
season.
they didn't fall off till like we played them. That's when Rodri got injured. But the specifically on this game, I mean, there's a lot of talk going on about this game, about all the Lewis Kelly doing the Haaland celebration, Gabriel screaming in his face Haaland's face when he scored the goal. I mean, all that feistiness, I was enjoying it. That
Yeah, of
shithousery,
course.
like, I mean, doing Haaland celebrating when 3-4 months ago, Haaland said, "Who the fuck are you?" to him, to Miles Kelly, and the next game he scores and does the Haaland. That's football one. That's shithousery at its very best. I mean, even if
That's
it
football
was on
heritage, man.
that's football heritage. I enjoy even if I was a neutral, not talking as Justin as Arsenal fan, talking as a neutral. I love that shit. I mean, I love
Hmm.
that feistiness. This happens. I've played football in my school and college and stuff, but and not professional level, obviously. But there's feistiness in that level too. We enjoy that in that level too.
Yeah, of course, it
I've
just
celebrated in
pushes.
people's faces. I've screamed in front of people's faces because we won. I've done that. But and pro level, that's just a completely different ball. And why wouldn't it happen? I love that shit. And
Yeah,
there's a
but
huge uproar. What do you think about that? Like, do you think it's like it should be that uproar is justified, or are you with me in this one?
uh, I would say that I enjoy aggressive football, man. Not aggressive football, but aggressiveness in football. So the same way that, like, Gabriel's screaming in Haaland's face and Lewis Kelly obviously doing his shithousery. I think that's peak football. That's the way it should be because it's competition at the end of the day. You're
Hmm.
not friends. You're not
Yeah, yeah.
friends.
Off the
For
pitch.
90 minutes,
Uh-huh.
you're at war.
Exactly.
And the way to treat that game like a war only means that there should be blood running high. There should be
Hmm.
anger. There should be passion, and more than anything, it shows the players' passion for football. It like the game recently has become a bit too soft. So it was nice
Yeah,
to see
I agree.
this.
I agree. The
It's nice to see this.
game's a bit too soft now. Like it's not like the early like I mean we didn't see it as much like we didn't see it live. We've seen clips and like highlights and like some games either some it's on the TV an old game and you're just sitting and watching. I mean football used to be rough. Like obviously it's like Premier League is still physical, but it's not
Hmm.
as much as it was early 2000 even late 2000 this like the start of 2010 decade. But
Yeah,
talking
but I think
sp
there's another point to mention here, which might be the reason why that the football's become a bit soft is also just the refereeing and just these like
yeah, that's
VAR
true.
checks and everything. Like it obviously as a player, if you know you're doing a risky foul, you'll hold back because now you know there's VAR on you, right?
Hmm.
Whereas before, it's not like eyes are not on you, but there's more likelihood for humane error. It cannot be replayed and the decision be
Hmm.
overturned. So I think that's one of
And
the reasons. But
I mean, you can count on escaping the referee's eye, but talking more
yeah,
specifically on the game, I mean, the game we started very well. I mean, we scored in the first minute, 105 seconds, so second minute, 1-0
hmm,
up. But after that, I felt like we retreated. I mean, we were pressing high when they were trying to play out the back. We were
hmm,
pressing really high, we were pressing really well. But when if they went long and if they won the ball in the midfield, then I thought we retreated a lot. We went back, but in the
yeah.
23rd minute, Rice, great pressing, wins the ball back high up the pitch, right outside the box, straight into Havertz. Open, I mean, not an open goal, but how did he miss that, bro? At that
Bro,
moment,
that's so Havertz.
I was cussing him out because my whole, I feared that that's gonna cost us. I feel like,
Mm,
and the rest of the half, I didn't think we played that well. I mean, we let City have most of the ball. We let them dictate the tempo. I don't know why we did that because we were more like midfield was more physical. We had more legs than them. So for me, letting them control the tempo, I didn't get that. But that was the first half. City didn't really do much. Devra had to make one good save, but other than that, City really weren't threatening. Uh, they were just playing around in the midfield. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And the second half started. We started the same way, honestly. We started the same way, and City equalized, and that's when I think something happened. That's when we realized that okay, now, I think like we need to play. Like we need to start playing. We can't let them have the ball now because it's 1-1, right? You have to get a goal to win. So I think that goal probably was the best thing to happen at Arsenal. Look, like in hindsight, at that time I was pissed because I was like,
yeah,
all I could think of was the Havertz miss, and now I'm thinking it's come back to bite us in the ass, and now we're gonna lose or we're gonna draw. Even a draw is gonna feel like a loss for me because we're going against Liverpool, and any drop points, it's completely done. So
yeah,
I was just thinking that that miss is gonna cost us, that miss is gonna cost us, but not even 2 minutes later, Partey equalizes. Foden's mistake gives it. I mean, not mistake in that sense, but the pass that he made was really bad. But that was a good interception by Partey. Shot outside the box, deflected, but it went in. And after that, I think we just blew them off the park. The last 30, 35 minutes, because I think we scored on the 56th minute. After that, City couldn't do anything. I think they lost the game mentally at that point, and then we just blew them out of the park. Miles Lewis Kelly, great goal. Then who's Havertz? Counter attack. I think we're the worst counter attacking team in the world. Period. We can't
Really?
counter attack for shit. I think we're the worst in that. But we scored a counter attacking goal. Havertz redeemed himself. Good finish, very good finish. I mean, it was a harder chance than the one he missed, but who cares now? He got a goal. He got an assist.
Mhm.
And then Ethan Nwaneri, 17-year-old. What a goal. What
Yeah,
a goal.
yeah, I've
Outside
seen
the
that.
box, that's a Robin-esque goal. I mean, not saying he's like Robin, he's Robin quality. Not saying that. He's a youngster, 17-year old, just coming through the academy, but that was a Robin-esque goal. Cut in,
Yeah,
curled in the far corner. Keeper
you
not
know,
even diving for that one.
no, it's a great goal, but actually, now that you mention Miles Lewis Kelly, he's in the Chelsea academy. You know
Really?
that?
I mean, he's been in the Arsenal academy since like the age of 10. So like
I
what?
mean,
But
I'm not seeming to suggest that he's our product, but all I'm saying is like,
I saw that on Twitter too, but I just scrolled down. I didn't give two shits because I like he's been here since like what 8, 10 years old. So like even if he had like was in Chelsea for one day, who gives a shit? I know that you're gonna like Chelsea fans are gonna try to what's the word?
well, claim him.
Claim him and try to annoy us
um,
in the in
Honestly, if you think about it, like objectively speaking, in the Premier League, there's a lot of players across a lot of teams that are Cobham products, right?
I
A
mean
lot of them, right? I'm not trying to claim Lewis Kelly, but it does show that we've got like a good system in place. But that's beside the point. I mean, it's
mhm.
interesting. It's yeah,
Yeah, but like he's a dog, bro. You can't bully him. He's 18, but like 18-year-olds bullying adults. You can't
yeah,
you can't bully that guy, bro. Too good. I,
yeah.
I think he's I think he's like when the season started, all day was about Ethan, but I think Miles Kelly is badder. He's a bad man, you know?
Yeah, he's a bad man.
He's a bad man. You can't
Bad
bully
man.
that guy. You can't bully that guy. But yeah,
Nah,
I
fair
mean
enough.
all of our players perform really. I mean, if you're beating City 5-1, I mean all of them played really good. But for me, the standouts were Rice, Partey, Skelly, and Rea. I think I would give man of the match to. Oh, that's a really tough one. Either it's Partey or Rice for me.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a tough one. If I have to choose, I'll probably go with Rice. But
Oh yeah.
Partey played really good. That was vintage Partey. That's Thomas Partey of old, like the real Thomas Partey. But I mean, the City players, Bernardo Silva is a disgrace. He didn't come to play football. He just came to tackle and foul people. He kicked Trossard when he fouled Trossard
Yeah,
and then he
yeah.
kicked him when he was on the floor. How's that not a red card? I mean, I'm not crying. I'm not saying any of the referees, but is
I
how's
mean,
that not a red card,
if
bro?
this result was 1-1, I'm pretty sure you'd have a different opinion on that.
Yeah, I would probably, but how's that not a red card? Or not? Okay, forget a red card. How's that not a booking?
Yeah, that's crazy. Probably just escaped the ref's eye. He can't do that. I've seen that. Yeah.
That's a
Uh,
disgrace, bro. Like, I mean, I'm all for shithousery. We talked about that. I'm all for shithousery. Diego Costa was one of my favorite players,
yeah.
except for when he was playing at Arsenal, playing against Arsenal. But he was one of because he was a proper shithouser, bro. And I'm all
Yeah,
for
because
that. But this is not shithousery. This is disgraceful.
yeah, it's not. I wouldn't classify that as shithousery. It's more along the lines of just, you know, a lack of respect for the game of football. Because
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
trying to injure someone, like just by kicking them, whatever you're doing. Like it's not such a cynical, red card kind of offense. Should be a red card, but it's not one of the more extreme offenses you would
Mm-hmm.
see. But nonetheless, it's along the lines of wanting to harm another player, which is, like you said, disgraceful, but it's also like, it again. goes against the rules of football. It's against integrity, man. Just play
Hmm.
like a player. Don't use these dirty tactics. But
Hmm.
yeah, Bernardo Silva can be like that sometimes.
He's gonna fuck off for that kid, bro. And
Yeah,
Haaland too. I mean, what he did in the reverse picture at the other, throwing like chucking the ball at Gabriel's head. That comes in this bracket. That's no shit housery. That's just disgraceful. That's fucked up. You don't do that shit.
I wouldn't
That's
say so. I
that's small dick
classify
energy,
that.
bro.
I mean, I'd
Like
say
you don't
that's
when
shithousery.
you score when you score a goal, you don't just throw the ball at someone's head. You don't hit someone in the back of their head with the ball. That's
I
not shit
mean,
housing.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that it's not petty. It is very petty, but I don't think it's disgraceful. There's much worse that happens, bro. Like,
I mean,
often
celebrate
when
in their
when when
face, scream at their face, like stand in their face, do whatever. But like physical, being physical, that's differently. Throwing a ball at someone's head, that's just completely different. That's fucked up, bro. Why would
yeah,
you? Why would you like? Because he picked up the ball and he did this. I put it in the same category as what Bernardo Silva did, but what did he do the whole game? Nothing. Nathan came
yeah.
on the like 80th minute. He had more touches than Haaland. I mean, he scored a goal, yes, but
I mean, Haaland's not exactly the one player you expect to have the most touches in the game
yeah, that's
anyway.
true though. That's true.
So, like, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just the way he plays. He's
I
just a
mean, yeah, that's
poacher,
true.
bro.
I'm just saying this because I believe that because that's not Haaland's game. I don't judge him
Because
with the
you're
amount of touches.
fuming. Because
I'm
you're
fuming because
fuming with Haaland, bro.
I'm beefing with him right now. That's why because I know that's not his game, and I don't criticize him for like not having enough touches because he's that striker that you don't need like he doesn't get involved. Put the ball in the box, he's gonna score.
Yeah,
And
he just stick a leg out, bro. He's
mhm.
he's a Viking for God's sake. Like his reach is insane with his legs. So really, I think he would be very well suited to like a mid-table team. You know, the ones that just cross the ball in. It's like blindly cross the ball in. Because he's that
No.
type of player that just needs to get a touch on the ball, man. You don't
Hmm.
really need him to do anything else.
Mm.
Just touch the
Yeah.
ball. It's just gonna go in
Yeah,
the
Haaland's
net.
one of those players that he'd do anywhere because he's not gonna be involved. He's gonna be sitting in the box waiting for the ball to come in, and then for him to score, that doesn't matter which jersey he's wearing. So he's one of those
Yeah.
players that can play anywhere. But about the game, I mean, we the tactics. I mean, what we deployed. Like the right back Nunes. I don't know why he's playing right back. Probably injuries, but isn't Lewis not injured? But we left him open. We weren't even marking Matthews Nunes because we knew he's not a right back. He's not going to be a threat. All he's going to do is try to come inside, and when he could try to come inside, we're going to stop him. And that's what he did. He had acres of space on the right hand side, acres of space. Any proper right back or a pacey even right back, not a good right back, but a pacey right back, he's going to punish you with that. But obviously, we knew what we were doing, how tacted Pep.
Hmm.
Pep looked like he was gonna cry at the end of the game, being honest. He was rattled. Pep was rattled. I mean,
I
the
mean,
next.
he should be, man. Like this is arguably one of the worst patches of his
Hmm.
entire career. If this doesn't bother him at this stage of his career, I don't know what will. So it's only
One of his
fair, but
worst losses, also.
yeah, yeah. I mean, 5-1, that's crazy. Uh, but it's also the fact that like he takes, he's making all these big money signings now again, try to fix their problems. And I mean, let's see what happens to them, but there hasn't been a significant improvement in their football ever since the new signings have come in.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, that was the Arsenal game. Loved the
Yeah.
game. I was so happy. Finally, we smoked a big team. And for me, like all the criticism we're getting for like being celebrating that win and being happy, like I mean, that's what football is, right? I mean, we smoked a big team. We didn't beat them, we smoked them. Why am I not gonna enjoy it? I don't care if we don't win the Premier League, we don't win the Champions League, we don't win anything in May. That's May's problem. I'm gonna have fun right now. I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
enjoy that win.
forget
You
the
don't
bigger
get that.
picture.
Mhm.
Forget the bigger picture for a second. It's just like celebrating a win, right? A win that really means something. And it's only fair. If you don't celebrate now, I don't know, like, you know, what's a better occasion to
Why are
celebrate?
you even
Maybe when
watching
you beat
football then?
Liverpool, maybe when you beat Liverpool, but beating's not enough, then you have to smoke Liverpool just the way you did
Exactly.
City to be able
Like
to feel the
smoking is
same
the
kind of.
difference. This
Yeah,
the
it's just.
high was all about scoring five
Mhm.
against City on against Pep. That was the high. That was what the high was about. I mean, if you won 2-1, 3-1, I wouldn't be this hyped up. I wouldn't be this hyped up. But we smoked them 5-1. That's why I'm gonna enjoy that way. Like I don't care if we didn't win the league last year. I don't care if they won it. I don't care if we're not gonna win the league in May. I'm gonna enjoy this weekend. I'm gonna enjoy.
No, you have to. You have to. Absolutely. Mhm.
But I mean, that was the Arsenal City game. But talking about City or top four rivals, I mean, you're happy that they lost. I mean, it got you to top four, and
Yeah, I mean
by
it's
beating West Ham, come back in the second half. No, yeah, come back in the second half.
yeah.
West Ham
Mm.
1-0, Bowen. Mistake by Colwell, big mistake. But
He, the recent couple of games, he's made a few mistakes. He did come out and say that, apologies for the mistake or whatever it was. But it's a good thing that he recognizes when a mistake's been made. But that's the point of a team, right? It's not like players are not going to be making mistakes. It's
hmm
just you need to have the right group of players to be able to cover for each other. That's fine, it happens, but obviously not ideal, knowing that he's one of our better centre backs, if not the best.
I mean, if you when you win, and if you win, you- coming out and apologizing is easier than if you had dropped points against West Ham. Then him coming out apologizing would be different, very different. The feeling would be very different.
Yeah, that's right. But if you come out and apologize nonetheless, winning or losing, it shows a sense of maturity in a player that's just 21,
hmm
right? It's not every day that you get a player like that. But it's okay to make mistakes like that. But it was good to see Chelsea come back. It's been a while. We made a few comebacks this season, I'm not gonna lie, but this one was the most satisfying one because of the top four race, and
You needed it.
every we needed it, and every other result going our way, for us to break into the top four and have a 2 point gap while we're at it. So that's good. Um, Overall comments, I'm not the biggest fan of Madueke. I think he's great, right? I think he's
I agree
great,
with you.
but Neto should start ahead of him. Yeah, you might just say, "Oh, Neto has like 3 or 4 goals in his, Chelsea career, or whatever, or 2, 3. I
Two
don't
in
even
the
know."
pen, two in
Yeah,
the
two in the
PL.
yeah, so two in the PL. You know what? Uh, yeah, I don't think that matters as much because he's an impactful player. So on the right flank, he's going to be someone that tracks back, dribbles, delivers a good cross, takes a good shot. Madueke, sometimes, I don't know, not the best at tracking back. Dribbles okay. I prefer Neto's dribbling because he doesn't. Neto's a bit quicker with his feet, so I feel like I don't know. You get rid of a player, you dribble a player
Mm-hmm.
quicker, but again, not much to differentiate the two on that basis. But just based on that performance against West Ham, yeah, Neto should be starting like each and every game. Madueke should have a bit of a rest.
hmm
I
I mean,
think
the
he needs one.
substitutions were also very quick. They came in the 58th minute.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
60th
finally
minute.
good
Yeah,
to
it was
see.
like 60th minute. It came very quickly. Like he was quick to respond to that.
Yeah, because it's been a few games, and fans are getting frustrated with his lack of dynamism in games. He's very he sticks to the same team, then makes subs in the 70th minute or even later, which is not ideal when you're drawing or losing games because, like, obviously, players are getting tired. It's not working. Clearly, something's not working. Just make a change. So it was good to see that against West Ham. I hope he keeps it up for the games to come because we need someone that is dynamic because if you stick with the same crop of players, there's also the possibility of increasing the likelihood of injury to players with
hmm
with many games that come um, back to back. So it was nice to see that. But overall, like, yeah, we should have beaten
Sanchez
West
got
Ham.
dropped. What do you think about
Sanchez
that? Were
got
you
dropped
happy?
finally, man. Each and every game he does something that costs us points. Like for the
hmm
past 4 or 5 games consecutively, he's done something that has cost us points. It might be a loss, it might be a draw, but it's always Sanchez. It's always him, and
It's always him. Why
it's
always
just
me?
that. Yeah, why always me? It's really just frustrating to see the manager back him so much when
Mm-hmm.
the merit is not there. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes he has good games, but he'll always have an 80% good game. There's going to be 20% of him that has made a mistake, hasn't paid for it with a goal, but has definitely made a couple of mistakes here and there, and they're so avoidable. So I think his dropping was quite appropriate, but also good to see Jorgensen getting the support of the manager and performing.
Because whenever I've seen him play the Jorgensen, I think he's good. I think he's been. I don't obviously I haven't seen him as much as I've seen Sanchez, but the snippets that I've seen, the few games that I've seen of him, he looks good. I mean, he might be better than Sanchez. I mean, look at the amount of
He's
mistakes Sanchez makes, so you wouldn't be too, like. But I've heard Chelsea fans call Sanchez the love child of your goalkeeper coach. I forgot his name. He was the goalkeeper coach at Brighton too when Sanchez was number one, and he's the one who brought Sanchez to
right.
Chelsea.
I
Maybe
would
that could be
say,
the reason for him getting the nod most of the time because
yeah,
he's
but
like
it's
the
it.
goalkeeper.
I think in the end of the day, it's a manager's decision, right? To your second point, like you can be the goalkeeper coach's love child, but there's only so much that you can do with that kind of
Mm-hmm.
limited discretion anyway, because at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
it's with the manager. But your first point regarding Jorgensen, the one thing I've seen in his game, he's a great shot stopper, don't get me wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not the most confident on the ball. So if you pass him the ball in a pressure situation, I trust Sanchez more than I do him. He's a bit iffy, as in he gets away with it, right? He doesn't make a mistake like Sanchez does, but he looks much less confident on the ball in open play. Whenever he's passed the ball, he seems to be second guessing his decisions. Um, so maybe that's also a sign of like a very young goalkeeper that's finding his stride in the Premier League and in Chelsea Football Club. But yeah, I mean it's high time we give him a run of games, and if he gives his performances and doesn't make mistakes as Sanchez does, I mean, that's a win for us already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I Chelsea was dominating most of the game. I mean, West Ham had a few chances. Don't get me wrong. Like West Ham had a
First
few
half,
chances.
first half we were horrible though.
Yeah, first
Second
half.
half,
Yeah, first
second
half.
half we
Like
upped the
if that
game.
first half went for another hour, you guys wouldn't have scored. But
Yeah,
the
no,
second half, things changed. I think Maresca made a few tweaks, and the substitutions, especially, they they made a difference. They made and but another howler from Nicholas Jackson. But we're gonna come back to this the West Ham point. Like West Ham had chances to maybe come out with a draw, but I mean, they didn't take their chances. And then own goal, Basaka crossed by Farmer, back of the net. Lucky, but I mean,
no.
if you took your chances, you might probably would have come out with a draw. So I mean, no one can say anything about that. But yeah, like a very two half games, like two
Yeah,
different halves. One Chelsea very poor. The second they look good. They were trying. They were threatening the goal.
it was almost like you're watching two separate games.
Hmm. But beautiful save by Ariola for Palmer's free kick. What a free kick, though. Top bins. I thought that was going in, but what a save, bro.
Yeah, man, Ariola is really good, but
What
I
a save.
mean,
Fingertips and what a save. But like can be one of the contenders for save of the season. I'm not gonna lie. I really like that save. But another Jackson
yeah.
Howler, bro. Like Jackson,
Huh.
I mean, he didn't do anything. I watched the game, but I didn't think Jackson was playing. I was thinking about the game right now, and I forgot Jackson was playing.
I think he's a bit low on confidence. The same case with him even last season, right? When he's low on confidence, he just looks like a different player. Like he doesn't take a shot. He's
Hmm.
almost afraid to take a shot. He'll pass it. He'll play very safe passes, but basically kill the attack. But it's obviously not ideal to have that kind of form um, running along with you. But I feel like once the one goal comes, it's gonna the treasure pot is going to open up for him again. I think he'll be fine, but he just needs to find that one goal, a couple of goals, because it's only normal for strikers to have a dry period. Not everyone's Haaland or Chris Wood. Um, you know, it's yeah. I think it'll take him time to come back into form, but it has been horrific from him for the past couple of games, especially this one.
Yeah, I mean, who would you start for the next game? And Kuku or him? Or you stick with him?
Jackson. Thing
Jackson?
with Nkunku is I love him. I absolutely rate the guy. I just think he doesn't press enough. Jackson's that kind of striker that's gonna,
Yeah,
run
I mean,
behind the goalkeeper, the
hmm
defender, and Nkunku's like
that's true.
like you'll see him, but it's almost
His
as if
work
he's
rate is
trying
really
not to
low.
press.
His
Yeah,
work rate
it's
is
just
low. His work rate is low, especially like if you compare it to Jackson, it's really low. I agree with that,
Yeah,
bro.
that's I'd rather have that work rate and you not score a goal than no work rate and you happen to score a goal. Because thing is, chances are if you don't have the work rate, then you're not creating pressure on the back line and the
Mm-hmm.
goalkeeper, right? Which just means you're allowing free flowing football from the back so teams can build, which automatically creates a chance for them to score goals. Whereas if you keep pressing, you might just win the ball here and there, you keep probing the back line and maybe get a goal out of it. But that with that said, in Kunku, if he had the work rate of Jackson, he's a perfect player. Like he's a perfect striker for Chelsea. It's just the only thing he's missing is work rate, and it's too crucial to our game tactics. It's almost like a huge disbalance because of his lack of work rate compared to Jackson.
I mean, a good win for Chelsea because looking at their form in the recent month or so. I mean, good win back in the top four. 6 points behind first, I think. Let me just double check where exactly they are in the table. Table.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
four
think
points,
it's a
four
six,
points, 4 points,
4 points.
four
Okay, that's
points
not that
behind
bad.
two. So I mean, not that far away. Can be chased, but that was Chelsea two, West Ham one. Now you were talking about Chris Wood, 7-0.
Where did that
Bro,
come from?
what was that?
Where did that come from, man? They just lost to Bournemouth last week, bro. Where did that
And
come
5-0,
from?
they got thrashed 5-0.
Where did that come from, bro? I don't get it. I
And
just
that,
don't get
against
this poor
Brighton, it
side.
wasn't even a Southampton or maybe an Ipswich even or Wolves even because their defense has been leaky. It's like Brighton's not that bad of a team, but conceding seven, like scoring seven against them, that's just a. I didn't see that coming at all. Like I obviously I didn't because I took Chris Wood out of my FPL team, bro. I smoked that motherfucker, bro.
No, 7-0. No one would have seen that coming, bro.
No, yeah,
Like,
no one saw him. I mean, I sold Chris Wood, motherfucker scored 3 goals. I benched Nico Williams, clean sheet and a goal. So I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming at all because my decisions, the decisions that I made, I mean, that was all for Brighton at least scoring 1 or 2 goals and Nottingham Forest, not winning the game or 1-0 or something like that. But
yeah.
there was 7-0, man. Damn, that was and I mean, you look at their XG, look at their possession. You wouldn't
Hmm.
think that would be a 7-0 game. If you just look at the stats, you just don't look at the scoreline, just the stats. You wouldn't think that it's a 7-0 game.
Hmm. I start like Chris Wood is in some insane form. Um,
I mean,
and that's
hmm
that's what you need, right? So even if your XD is a bit low as a team, you need a striker that converts your half chances, right?
hmm
And that's exactly what Chris Wood is doing at the minute. I'd even go as far as to argue that the reason why Forest are so high in the table at the minute is down to a good group of players, but mostly down to Chris Wood's form. The past couple
hmm
of months, he's been really
Yep,
consistent in scoring
really
goals,
consistent.
and the goals that he scored have been very decisive for their games. It like this one, the 7-0. So obviously not as decisive as his other games, but it just goes to show
hmm
what kind of form. he's in. Um,
They look like a unit, like a proper unit, you know? Like
yeah,
it's not just dependent on one player. Like their wingers are doing their thing, the strikers scoring, the defenders are defending, the midfielders are
yeah.
midfielding. So like everyone's doing their own thing. And I mean they bought like 30 players 2 years ago and everyone was making fun of them, but now I mean what they're doing, that they're doing pretty well. And their performances
Yeah,
are really good. I mean, they had only 37% possession and their XG was 4.07 and they scored 7 goals. So that, I mean, it wasn't out, I mean, they outscored their XG. They overscored their XG. It's not like they had like a six, even a 5 point something, a 6 XG, you know? Like they had a lot
yeah,
of chances. I mean, they were just very clinical,
yeah,
very, very
yeah.
clinical. And they scored 7. I mean, what a thrashing to
Comes down,
Brighton.
yeah. No one would have seen that coming, but a
Mhm.
lot of it's down to Chris Wood. A lot of it.
Another thing that a lot of people would have seen coming, Brentford nil, Tottenham too.
I was
Like
gonna
Tottenham,
talk just about this game. That's their first win since 4th December, you know.
yeah,
Can you imagine that they've gone 2 months without a win?
in
Oh
PL,
my
yeah,
God. And
that's
and
yeah.
yeah, I
That
mean
Tottenham's shit. Tottenham's fifth, 14th. Like Tottenham's
they're
14.
higher than
Tottenham's crap.
United.
No, no, they're below United. Or maybe after this win, no, 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 no. They're still below them. They're still below them
No, no,
for
no.
sure.
Check, check. But last I remember, Spurs are ahead of United. That could be before United's
I have
game, but
the table right here. Yeah, they're right below United. 2 points. United 13,
2 points
Tottenham
again.
14.
Mid
Yeah,
battle of the mid.
their last 5 games have been XXXX, and then yeah, but Tottenham's been shit this season. I mean, yes, they have had injuries, but I mean, even this game, Brentford had a lot of chances. I mean, Vissa, I brought that guy for what, and this is what he does. He missed couple of very good chances. I mean, very good chances. It's not like Tottenham played really well. It was just like Brentford didn't take the chances. Brentford weren't clinical at all, at all. And
Yeah,
Tottenham were. I mean. But it's a big surprise, though. I mean, I didn't see it coming. Just a month ago, Brentford didn't lose a single game at home, and they were the first or second for home form this season. Start of Jan, and in just a month, they've lost 3 games in their last 4 uh, home matches and drew one. They haven't won a single game in their last 4. 3 losses and a draw. So that's a surprise. That turnaround is a surprise because I don't think you just go from that to this. You don't go from like being first or second in the league for your home form and then just go 4 games, 3 losses, 1 draw, no wins. That's a big drop off.
yeah, but then again, Spurs fans and the manager are always going to say injuries, giving my same crop of players back. But bro, listen, yo, it's not like you're the only team with any injuries. Every team has injuries, and it's completely normal. This is the
Hmm.
Premier League. I mean, if you can't adjust to having injuries, maybe you're not built to manage in the Premier League anyway, because like that cannot be a reason for not performing unless your whole
I
first
mean,
team is
this
on the
big of a
bench.
drop off. This big of
Yeah,
a drop off. I mean, Brentford fans can say, "Oh, the last 4 games we played Liverpool, we played Arsenal, we played City," but Tottenham, bro, Tottenham, the team that hasn't won since 6th of December, and you lose against them. I mean,
but it's pretty normal for Brent to do this. Like they always have this like 5, 6 game patch every season,
mm,
ever since they've been promoted, where they're shit, but then they make a comeback. Comeback as in like start picking up points, and it's usually around
they just need to
mid
start taking
Feb.
their chances. They just need to start
Yeah,
taking their chances. I mean,
yeah,
this game especially. This game they could have easily got something out if they just took their chances. Because like everyone knows Tottenham's gonna leak goals, and like
yeah,
Tottenham got a clean sheet. Tottenham got a clean sheet, bro. That's
yeah.
big.
That's
That's
crazy.
saying something. That's telling you how the front line performed. Now you don't
Yeah,
even need to watch the game. Just looking at Tottenham 2, like no Tottenham 2 and then Brentford nil, like nil, a clean sheet for Tottenham tells you everything.
yeah. That's crazy. It's not very.
Another 2-0 over the weekend. Liverpool 2, Bournemouth nil. Good, good win for Liverpool. I mean, Vitality Stadium, especially this season, hasn't been a good place for big teams, especially to go. They took
I
points of
mean,
Arsenal. They
Bournemouth,
took points of City.
bro, Bournemouth have been really good this season.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, it's a good win for Liverpool, but it's not exactly surprising now.
Yeah, but I mean, away, it was away. So I thought, I mean, it's not that surprising. Obviously, they're the best team in the league, but it is a tough game. It's one of the tough away fixtures that you have in this season,
Yeah, yeah,
especially keeping in form, and keeping in mind the other teams like United drop points, Arsenal drop points, City drop points. I mean, Chelsea didn't drop away. No, I think you won at home and drew away, or was the other way around? But
it's the
anyway,
other way
like
around. So we won away and then we drew at
and
home.
drew at home. Yeah, so like Chelsea not at Bournemouth's home, but still dropped points against them. So that was a good win. That was a very good win for them. I didn't think Liverpool was that great. I mean, I don't think they were at their scintillating best or like they were outstanding. I think they were
Hmm.
just 6.57 out of 10 at max. But that's the
Yeah,
thing. Like a player like Salah, clinical, clinical, scored 2 goals and 2-0. I mean, that's all you need. A pen. I mean, there was a controversy. What do you think about that? Do you think it was a pen or not? I mean,
I don't.
I think it's one
I'm
of
not
those
gonna lie.
50-50s. One of those
I
fifty
haven't seen.
fifty. Oh, you haven't seen? But I mean, it's one of those 50-50s that can go either way. One angle shows that Cody Gapko was stripped. The other show there's another angle that shows that Cody Gapko tripped himself. But I
Yeah,
mean, it's one of those 50-50s. I can't really say that it was a goal. It was a penalty. I can't really say it wasn't. It's just one of those 50-50s that can go either way. And either way it goes, you just kind of stomach it.
yeah. I need to.
But I mean, a
Uh,
good win for Liverpool. They don't need to be at their best. They racking up 3 points. That's all that matters here.
you can't maintain like 9 on 10 performances every single game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's a marathon. Sometimes you need these 6.57 games
Mm-hmm.
to just get you through to the next game without dropping any points. So, I mean, it's good. Not really surprised by that though, necessarily. Even with Bournemouth's form this season, Liverpool should have won. Any result that would have made them drop points would have surprised me more. Um, but going forward, I mean, it's pretty clear that Liverpool look like the favorites to win the title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, same. But we're gonna do a prediction video. But I'm quickly going through the other results. Everton 4, Leicester nil. I mean, that was a good win for Everton. I mean, the
Bro,
relegation.
David Moyes has really changed something. He's come
Mm-hmm.
in 3 games in a row, 3 wins in a row. So,
Yep.
I mean, it
Against that
was,
was a 6 pointer for them because they're relegation rivals, right? So
yeah.
good win for him and good turnaround by Moyes. I mean, they're scoring goals finally.
Hmm.
Uh, Wolves 2, Aston Villa nil. There was a controversial, apparently, for some fans, that offside decision against Rogers. I don't know if you've seen it, but I don't think it was offside. It was like he blocked Semedo from running towards the ball, and he came from an offside position. So, I mean, it was the right decision. Aston Villa didn't look threatening at all. Wolves clinical. Cunha, what up there? 2-0.
Yeah.
Newcastle won for them too. I mean, back-to-back losses at St. James Park. That's surprising.
Wait,
Like
who did they lose to?
Fulham,
Fulham.
2-1. And yeah,
What?
surprisingly, back-to-back at James Park, especially after they did, I think, six in a row or seven in a row. 6 wins in a row, 7 wins in a row.
I
But,
mean,
and
I'm not complaining, bro. As a Chelsea fan,
yeah,
I'm really, I'm really not complaining, bro.
I mean, that's what you're hoping for, no?
Yeah.
And then just the last result of the game, match week, Southampton 2, Ipswich 1. I mean, Ipswich 1, Southampton 2, home away. Good. I mean, two relegation threatening teams fighting against each other. I mean, it's a 6 pointer for them. Who gives two shits, bro?
Yeah,
That's
but it just like result like these surprise me with the fact that Ipswich beat us, bro. So I don't get it.
yeah,
I don't get it.
yeah.
But that penalty decision in that game, disgraceful, man. I don't know if you've seen that, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that one. Delap one.
I'm
Yeah,
just, yeah, the lap one. I'm just venting, man. But yeah, overall, good game week. Plenty of
mm.
goals.
Yeah, plenty
A
of
few
goals. I
very
mean,
big results.
very good for Chelsea, especially they're back in top four.
Yeah.
The table
Hmm.
with Chelsea is 43 points, City 41, Newcastle 41, and Bournemouth 40. So I mean, it's still close. Nottingham Forest, so let's add them to it, 247 points. So still close. It's anyone's race. It's still open. Top four race is open. And we'll see
Yeah.
what happens at the end of the season. But that's about it for this game week and this video. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Please share, comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye bye.